My art used to look flat, like something was missing. Then I realized it wasn't my colors, it wasn't the anatomy, it was the light. Today I'm breaking down how light actually works in art and how you can use it to make your drawings instantly pop. So why is light so powerful? Well, it does three things at once. It defines structure, your cheekbones, your nose, your jawline. All of that comes alive when light hits it. It sets the mood. Warm light feels cozy and safe, while cold light feels dramatic or mysterious. And it directs attention. Artists literally use light like a spotlight, guiding your eye to the most important parts of the drawing. That's why mastering art isn't just some advanced skill, it's one of the fastest things to make your art feel professional. Let's make it super clear with a simple example. I drew this character holding a lantern in the top left corner, and you can see that the background is pretty dark. What happens? The side facing the lantern lights up, while the opposite side falls into shadow. The contrast between bright and dark is what makes the face look three-dimensional. Even small details, like the shadow running along the nose, play a huge role. And by the way, I'm sorry that the drawing is so rough, but you will get the idea. And very important to say, don't guess your shadows. The first step should be to identify the light source. And if it helps you, you could also sketch a few quick arrows showing where the light will hit. So in the last example, the light source was pretty easy to identify due to the obvious lantern. But don't worry if you can't instantly see the light source. You can find it out pretty easily. All you have to do is to identify the shadows. Shadows basically reveal where the light is coming from. And the cool thing is, no matter which direction the light is placed, shadows always follow the same logic. To practice the stage, I can highly recommend you go to this website, where you can literally study every shadow possible on a face. I'll put the link in the video description. Now that we also know how to identify the light source, let's talk about warm and cold colors and what the actual difference is. Warm light. In this example, the source is coming from the top left, and you can tell that by the fall of the shadow, just like we talked before. And in this case, we see a very bright orange color. Now look at this portrait. Under cool light, it feels completely different. The warm version pops more, feels cozy, energetic, maybe even romantic. The cool version feels calmer, moody, even a bit sad maybe. And here is the key. Neither of them is better. They just tell different stories. Here is an example. I drew Jonas from the Netflix series Dark. Yes, I know, I'm a bit late to the party, but it's such a great show. If you didn't see it, definitely watch it. For this piece, I intentionally used very dark and desaturated colors to create a strong sense of mystery. The whole scene feels moody and cinematic. Just like in the previous example, I started by identifying the light source. In this case, it's off screen, like somewhere over there. That's why the back of the character falls completely into shadow while the front catches the light. Notice how the brightly light area is actually quite small. That small, vibrant highlight is actually what makes it pop against the dark background. Because the surroundings are so dim, your eye is immediately drawn to that illuminated spot. This simple principle, strong contrast and careful lighting, gives the drawing depth and a dramatic, mysterious vibe that fits Jonas perfectly. And it has to do something with complementary colors, but that will be in a other video. Like and subscribe if you don't want to miss it out. Once you understand your main light source, here's where it gets fun. Light doesn't just stop, it bounces. Think about it. A lantern's glow might reflect off the clothes, the floor, or even a wall nearby. Those little reflected lights create extra depth and atmosphere, and different materials react in different ways. Skin reflects softly and smoothly, while metal or glass gives sharp, bright highlights. If you pay attention to this in real life, like how your phone screen glows in the dark, you'll start picking up details that make your drawing way more believable. And I know it can be very confusing to study light, but here is a quick summary. First, identify the light source. Before adding highlights or shading, decide exactly where your light is coming from. Shadows always reveal the direction of the light. 2. Understand light and shadow. Light reveals structure. It brings out facial features, textures, and volume, while shadows create depth and contrast. 3. Set the mood with color temperature. Warm light, let's say orange or yellow, feels vibrant, cozy, and energetic. Cool light, let's say blue and teal, conveys calmness, mystery, or drama. 4. Use contrast to direct attention. 1. Strong contrast between light and dark areas act like spotlight. Well-placed highlights against starred surroundings instantly draw attention to your subject. 5. Add reflected light and observed materials. Light doesn't stop at the first surface, it bounces. Soft materials like skin reflect gently, while shiny surfaces like metal or glass create crisp, bright highlights. So, the summary: mastering light means defining your source, applying shadows with logic, setting mood with warm and cool tones, using contrast to guide the viewer. Done well, it transforms flat sketches into dynamic, professional-looking art. If this video helped you to understand light even better, I'd really appreciate if you would like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That really helps me a lot. And also check my other socials. See you in the next one. Peace out.